Rock fans, welcome back. It's another MPJ new rock album review show. I'm Nige, we have Trish, we have Andy. The rest of the crew are doing other things, from recovering from pantomimes to recovering to doing cruises. Anyway, but Paul, Lauren and Chris have all voted. And so we reviewed the latest album. Let us know what you think. Give it a rating out of 5. Where will it get into our top albums? We will find out. Will it qualify for a potential slot in Album of the Year, which we just had? Congratulations again to Linkin Park, which I keep on saying, from 0. High quality. We're going to start with a band called Cheap Trick. From that perspective. So, Cheap Trick. Now, who can we start with that is full of little cheap tricks? Trish? What do you think?
I thought you were going to say who's all washed up.
Ooh. No, you say that for me.
I could have done, and maybe you've stolen my thunder, but...
Yeah, I know how your mind works, mate.
Oh, totally.
So, if you like Billy Idol, AC/DC, and hints of David Bowie served up with a heavier rock edge and guitar riffs galore, then All Washed Up by Cheap Trick is pure sugar in your tea and will hit that musical sweet spot instantly. From the get-go, the album packs a punch, delivering solid, energetic rock that carries through the first half with confidence. Midway through, the band throws a curveball with The Best Thing, which shifts the vibe slightly. The second half still rocks, but for me, it was a bit more Beatles-esque sound and vocal approach. That isn't a bad thing, far from it. As a fan of all the above influences on show, it's a welcome surprise and clearly displays the band's diversity and willingness to mix things up without losing their identity. Standout track for me was the closing song, Wham Boom Bam, smile-inducing track that leaves you on a high. And despite the album title, there's absolutely nothing washed up about this release. A fantastic listen for lovers of 80s and 90s era nostalgic rock.
Wham, bam, mam, bam, boom, boof. Right, well, let's go to somebody who's equally as all washed up. See, you did steal my thunder.
That's what I'm expecting.
But Paul's not here, so we'll have Andy instead.
Hey. Yeah, Cheap Trick. One of those bands which, if you mention them, it's like, I'm sure I've heard of those for a while. Yeah, but I can't put my name on a hit they had. They did have a hit. Probably the best known one is I Want You to Want Me back in God knows how long ago, Through For It. If you hear it, you'll know it kind of stuff. And they're still going. Obviously, they're still going back from 40 odd 50 maybe years ago kind of thing through for it. I'm glad that they are still doing it. They're obviously still enjoying it. They're still having fun, and they're still sort of pumping out rockers through for it. But I don't know. It's one of those things which I'm probably going to give this maybe a lower score than maybe it deserves, because it was just very much songs which I've heard before, styles which I've heard before, and sometimes I can give those, enjoy them more than I did with this one. But it did seem like they were just doing it because they had nothing better to do in a way. They sort of wanted to keep doing it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it just didn't get me that they were sort of like doing or trying anything, with great gusto. Even though they probably were still rocking it out, they were still rocking it out, but it just didn't quite work for me. I'm afraid this one, they're trying. You said they're trying to do a little bit of Beatles there. So there was one song which came through, which was very AC/DC down to the core of it, and and the original guys, they were back there do it in day, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I maybe should have done for me. So
yeah, a bit harsh to just doing it because they've got nothing better else to do.
Well, no, that is harsh. Yeah.
I think they do it because they love doing it and they're good at it.
Yeah, well, yes, that was unfair of me. They do it because they love doing it, and you can tell they do love doing it, but they're just I take that one back.
I know what you mean, though, isn't it? Because when you when you're playing in this genre and you've kind of heard it all before, you go like you become a little bit, and I kind of went through this patch as well when I started this journey, and this was my sweet spot, kind of 80s kind of rock, with that sort of more heavier tint like Maiden and Guns N' Roses and stuff, and it was really hard for me to kind of get out of that. And now, of course, I listen to so many rock bands of this sort of ilk that you become a little bit desensitized to it, and you kind of maybe feel, well, I've kind of heard all this before, and I should like it more, but I'm not hearing anything new, particularly on this kind of journey that you're on. But in defence for me, if you're going to play in this genre, you've got to be good. You've got to be on point. Your singing's got to be good. Composition and music's got to be good. And you've just got to really rock it, and the production's got to be good, because there's so many bands kind of playing in this sort of what I call generic rock and roll. Even there's lots of what I call generic. When I kind of categorise in bands for my shortlist, it's generic 80s, generic rock and roll, generic heavy stuff that's all been kind of done before, and singing's good. And I've got to say I feel that they've done this really, really well. There's a couple of tracks that kind of made it my pool list. All Washed Up and what's the other one? 12 Gates. I really enjoyed as well. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. I thought there was a little bit of rip-off of AC/DC. You kind of heard that before. But overall, I thought this was a really solidly good album. I enjoyed it. I think, as I said, if you're going to play in this arena, you've got to be on point. And I thought they were on point as well. But I kind of get it. If you might have heard this all before. And I think and because of that, I think you've got to be in the mood. You've really got to be in the mood if you're going to kind of listen to this sort of album. So, anyway, where will it end up in our top albums of all time, of our 645 albums that we reviewed to? Trish, what did you give this?
I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I was expecting that to be a bit higher, Trish.
Yeah, I am actually this year being a bit tighter with my scores.
Oh, I don't know.
That's 3 out of 5 already.
Well, yeah, she says throwing out 5s already, but we'll count up this 5 to last year's 5, shall we? But anyway, there we go. Andy?
2.5 for me, which actually is quite a little bit harsh. I think I probably would have bumped that up to a 3 if I actually sort of like was feeling it a bit better on a day.
Kelly give it a 2.5, but he's not here, so we'll dispense with his 2.5 because those are the lower scores. Trish, give it a 3. Lauren liked it, give it a 4. Paul liked it, 3.5. That's quite a good score for Paul. And I liked it. I also give it a 4 as well. So there we go. So it got 17, 3.4. Because we dropped Andy's 2.5, and that basically, bizarrely, there's a few albums on 3.4, 363rd, so not quite in our top half of albums, but still pretty solid, really, solidly middle of the road album. But again, if you like that sort of style, and you're a fan of Cheap Trick, I think you'll love it. I personally did. Anyway, let's give our two-word review then. Trish.
Feel good.
Feel good. Oh, I bet you do. Andy.
Original rockers.
Original rockers. I'm gonna go expensive trick. It's not cheap. There we go. Right, okay, leave your comments below. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hey, maybe just 2 words. You can do it. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Keep on rocking.